on this computer. All right, so if I hold this hand up, is that my right or left?
Right.
It's my right hand. So is that mirror image to y'all?
I can't see what you're doing.
All right, this hand is my right hand. But do y'all see it as left or right?
Well, it's on my left.
It's on your left.
I know that's your right hand.
I gotcha. Yeah. And is that, Miss Ruth Ann, is that written backwards or forwards?
Where?
That what?
The step, switch, turn, shift.
It's still backwards.
Where is that? Talking about at the
right
wall?
Here.
You talking about the wall or the
yeah,
the
right
door?
here.
Oh, that's backwards.
That's backwards?
Yeah.
All right. Let me do that thing again. Video settings. Now I feel like everything I've ever done is just a big lie. Okay. What about now? Is it backwards or forwards?
Backwards.
It's backwards?
Yes.
It's backwards.
But was it backwards before?
Yeah.
Yes. I thought
been backwards since I've seen it.
I thought you was talking about that sign on the door.
No. Let's forget that one. Let's
put
it over there.
Okay.
I was trying to be, I thought I was being creative and writing it backwards so that when y'all read it, it was forwards.
I know what you're trying to do, but it's backwards.
Turn it around.
Well, I'll have to rewrite it and oh Lord, I really thought I did something. I really thought I was doing something.
No, ma'am.
Well, now I hope y'all learn Tai Chi from me one way or another. I really hope y'all do.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, we did it before, you know. I was in that class that you taught before.
Well, here I think I've worked so hard to teach mirror image, and now I'm wondering if I ever taught mirror image.
Well, when you raise your right hand, it's the left hand for us.
So this, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So whenever I say, okay, I'm going to say shift your weight to the right leg. Does that go to the right side, or do I shift weight to the right leg and that's the right side?
When you say shift to the right, we go to the left of you.
So this is my right leg according to you?
No. I explained that wrong. When you say go to the right, then we go to the right, but it's the left to you.
Exactly.
What leg am I standing on, right or left?
You're on the right.
Okay.
You're on the right leg.
And now I'm on my left leg.
All right.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I've been teaching y'all mirror image and it didn't even matter. I could have been teaching regular the whole time and I would have been on the right leg.
We just go opposite of what you do because we're facing you.
We'll do it.
All right. You know, it's not a big deal if we're going right first or left first. Most things in our Tai Chi movements we do to both sides. But if we're ever in person, and we'll figure it out then. So we'll just do what we do here. But I really did think I was doing something to help y'all by writing that backwards so that it would be forward when y'all saw it. Because what I'm seeing with my eyes is step, switch, turn, shift the right way. I'm not reading backwards. So I'm going to see when I get done with this class, I am going in my shirt. Is my shirt backwards or forwards?
Huh?
My shirt, it says Tai Chi for fall prevention. Is it
Uh-huh.
backwards?
It's
It's
right.
backwards.
No, it's right.
It's
I
right.
can
Oh.
read that.
It's right.
Uh-huh.
And
Mhm.
well, that is so weird because what I'm seeing is back like opposite of what y'all are seeing. That makes no sense to me. Why can't I should be able to see what y'all see, right?
Yes.
Well, if you were turned the way we were, you would be, but you're turned opposite of us.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh. I don't know if I'm smart enough for this. Okay.
We're still learning.
I'm just
Yeah.
tickled over this. I am tickled because I really thought I had something figured out.
Let me get
All
my
right.
chair.
Huh?
I said, let me get my chair. And Doris is not on.
Yeah.
And what's the other lady name?
Iona,
Mm-mm. Mm.
Barbara, Anita,
Barbara.
Barbara. Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they
And,
are.
what happened? Because when I turned on my tablet, then it popped up.
Uh-huh.
Zoom popped up. So if they going on the old way, they probably can't see it. I'm gonna call Doris and see.
All right. I don't know because I'm not in charge of their tablets.
Right, right.
I can do some phone calls this week and remind them.
Okay.
I don't foresee any problems like going forward. We won't be canceling class, unless something crazy comes up. I don't like to cancel class, but it happens sometimes. So
Right.
anyway, right or left, we will walk around the room just warming up our muscles, getting our bodies ready for exercise. Hold on. Oh. Lord. Maybe by the time classes gets over, that I'll have something else figured out in real time. All right. Our bodies should be warm and decreasing our chance for injury. I will watch out for anybody joining the class, but we will move forward, starting with our warm-up exercises. We talked about principles the previous classes, and now we're going to do more of the movements in instilling the principles into our movements. First and foremost, we want to do like a body check to check our posture, to make sure we have that nice posture with like a string that goes up and down. Shoulders are relaxed. We're not holding any tension. Our feet are about shoulder width apart. Our weight is on both feet. So every now and again, just check in with yourself to make sure you aren't holding tension, checking to make sure you're breathing. So let's start with our neck. We bring our hands up, palms down, towards our chin and chest. We push away from our body and we follow those hands all the way down, chin to chest. Come back up towards our chin and chest, push away, and follow those hands all the way down. Make sure you're breathing through these movements. Do your best not to hold your breath. Our other neck exercise starts out that same way. Come here, drop one to your hip, and follow that hand towards your shoulder. Back to the front, switch hands. Side to side. Just working out any of that tension that you're carrying in your neck. We want to do our best to get rid of any kind of tension, because tension can cause pain, and that's definitely what we're against. Let's roll those shoulders forward. Little circles, and roll it back, little circles. Almost feels like a massage you're giving yourself. It's a challenge. For me, it's to do small circles. I have to think about a quarter. Now let's do big shoulder circles. Our palms come up and we push down in front of us. Inhale as we come up. Exhale as we push down. We can think about gentle resistance, as if we're moving through water. Grab our ball. Hands facing each other, we're going to stretch our spine. One hand's going to push down towards the ground. The other comes up and pushes towards the ceiling at the same time. Stretching that spine vertically. Come to our ball and switch. Stretching that spine. I like to inhale as I come to my ball and exhale as I separate. All those vertebrae in our spine, some breathing room, if you will. Really stretches that out. Now let's go side to side. Just moving our torso. We switch our hands. We go in the direction of the hand that's on top. Very similar to our waving hands in clouds movement. So be comfortable with this, because we'll come back to that today. Back to center. Now this is where we start shifting weight as we go to our hips. We're going to shift our weight to one leg. It doesn't matter which. We'll place our heel out forward and our hands go back, keeping our body upright, paws in the middle, and toe back, hands forward. Warming up that hip. Relying on that one leg to hold our weight, and that's challenging when it comes to balance. So have a chair nearby, a stable wall, a table, something that you can rely on if you need to. Shift the weight to the other leg and heel out forward, hands back, paws, and toe back, hands forward. To open this door again. I think our office is falling apart, y'all. When I close this door. It's not so bad in the mornings, but in the afternoons, I guess when it heats up outside, when I close this door, it gets really hot in this room. So just now when I opened that door, just a rush of cool air came in. And it gets so stuffy in here, I can't hardly breathe. So that shouldn't be a problem. Also, we have the Roto-Rooter people here today. We have 3 different trucks, and they're doing something with our pipes. Our water is turned off. And then you throw in that thing I tried to teach y'all with the mirror image, and now I'm just like, whatever goes today, guys. All right, so we did the somewhat of that leg swing here for our hips. And then the other one for our hips involves us shifting weight to one side and tapping the foot out of the foot that doesn't have weight, and then shift and do that to the other side. Our hands are stacked and they go in the direction of the weight shift, and they stop at our frame. And what I mean by that is we're not leaning. Once we start leaning, we're going towards falling. So we keep our bodies upright as we shift the weight and tap the foot out. Bring it back, switch hands, shift, tap. Bring it back, shift, tap. Switch, shift, tap. It may feel natural to lean, but just be mindful of keeping your body upright. We don't want you going in the direction of falling. Come back to center. Get your loose fist like you're holding an egg. You don't want to break. And we're going to our knees now. We shift our weight to one leg, lift, tap our foot out, and punch the opposite hand. Bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch, shift, lift, tap and punch, shift, lift, tap and punch. Remember, the weight shifting is where a lot of magic happens to help increase our balance. We're really making the muscles strong in terms of being stabilizer muscles. So be mindful of that weight shift. Get really secure in that one leg holding your weight as you lift the other one up. And you'll just get more and more benefits from that, feeling stable in your stance versus, working on a hope and a prayer that you won't fall. Now let's do another knee exercises where we step out. So we're going to shift the weight to one leg, step heel toe. Let's shift weight to that front foot as we punch, bring it back, and feet side by side. Shift, just a small step forward. Shift, not completely, just enough to give it some weight. Bring it back, feet side by side. So we do a lot of weight shifting here with this knee exercise. Warming up those knees. But hey, if you just simply did the warm-up movements, as long as you follow principle, you're going to get those benefits from Tai Chi. So don't be overwhelmed by so many different things that we learn. Remember that we do have resources. You probably already have them on hand. If you don't, let me know. But these that are behind me, which you probably can't see that far, but that's a poster that has all the different moves. And so when I was first learning, I would just put these posters out in front of me, and then I wouldn't have to think what's next. That would just be there for me to be a memory trigger. Next is our ankles. So let's shift our weight to one foot or leg and tap heel toe, rocking that foot, improving the mobility and stiffness that we may have in our ankle. Bring the foot back, shift, and the other foot, heel toe, heel toe. Bring the foot back, shift the weight, and big toe, little toe. Rocking the foot back and forth. Shift in the other foot, little toe, big toe. That full range of motion of that ankle joint. Give it a good shake. Do you have any questions about any of those warm-up movements? Let me know if you need any clarification. You know, we go from kind of head to toe. We do 2 for our neck, 2 for our shoulders, 2 for our spine, hips, knees, and ankles. And so those are the same movements we do each time. We do it to the right, we do it to the left. And then that gets our bodies ready for exploring our Tai Chi basic 6 movements, starting with commencement. And so last time we went through our commencement move. Obviously, we always start with our posture, making sure that we have that good posture. Our feet are about shoulder width, hip width apart, wherever we feel most comfortable and stable. So we always start in a good space and then check in with ourselves to make sure we're still holding our bodies in a way that's safe and comfortable. So for commencement, heck, I don't even know anymore if I'm supposed to be doing mirror image. What I'm going to do is just do it properly. And y'all let me know if it confuses the heck out of you. So whenever we're doing commencement, we start with our weight on both legs. We shift our weight to the right. We step left heel toe. We shift left and we bring that right foot forward. That's the footwork. Shift right, step left heel toe, small step, nothing big. Shift the weight and bring the right foot forward. Easy enough, right? Our hand work, we start out with our hands to the sides of us. We're going to bring our hands up and out. And when we do, there's a soft bend in our elbow. So they're not locked joints. They have a nice soft joint. As we bring our hands up, remember they always face each other. We bring those hands down about to our hips. We pull our hands in towards our hips, come up our bodies, push away from us, and then pull back. So you see a little bit of movement with our hands, and that's just another way to engage our wrists. So we bring our hands up and our fingers are more pointed down. We come down, our fingers are more pointed up. We pull in, our fingers are straight out as we go through those final moves. And we come back, our fingers point straight up, and that is for open and close, which is our second move. So just our hands, we start from our sides, we bring our hands up and down, pull in, up, out, back in, and open and close. So that's that second move, which has no feet work, only hand work. So we don't have to worry about what's going on with our legs for our open and close movement. Let's put our first and our commencement, put our footwork and our hand work together. So when our hands come up, nothing happening with our feet. When our hands come down, that we shift to that right leg. Down, shift. Step left, bring those hands in and up. Shift as those hands go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Remember when we take a step, we take what's called an empty step. So that there's that shift. When I step, there's no weight immediately goes there. I'll have that foot out there, but all my weight is on that back foot. It's only when I take my hands out that I shift the weight to that left foot and bring that right foot forward. Hands come back. So let's do it together with commencement and begin. Hands come up, down, shift right. Empty step left, bring those hands in and up. Shift left as those hands go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Remember that open and close movement is a breath. It's a way to practice that gentle resistance. It's a reminder to do kind of a body check and make sure everything's good. Let's do it again several times. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as the hands go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. One more time, then we'll move on to our single whip. And commence. Up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. All right, single whip. So now that I'm no longer living a lie, I can move over to this side. And again, y'all let me know if this
Why
is
is the
working.
video stopping?
Ma'am,
Why is the video stopping on you?
I didn't know it was.
Yeah,
It's
you'll
stopping.
be moving and then it's like you freeze.
Oh, dear Lord. You know what? Earlier I noticed that I was on Wi-Fi, not this cord. Hold on, let me see. Let's see if that makes a difference. I love technology. It is so wonderful. Let's see. What happens if I connect to that? Hopefully I won't hang up on this thing. All right, let's see if that works. Now I'm connected to the wires instead of the Wi-Fi. But thank you for letting me know that it was doing that, because my computer doesn't show me that I'm freezing up. It shows me that I'm just carrying on. So thank you for letting me know. All right,
Okay.
so here we go. We're going, whenever we do our single whip, we do it 2 times. We do it to the right, and then we do it to the left. And waving hands in clouds is after each one. But the first one we do is to the right. And by to the right, I mean we shift weight to our left leg. We step out right. So it's just a small step. We're in a staggered stance. And after we step out, we adjust our weight to being on both legs. So we shift left, step out right, adjust the weight. So that's what happens with our legs. Our hands are facing each other like this because we just got finished with open and close. And what we're going to do with our hands, let me come closer, is they're facing each other. I'm going to push away from my body. And remember, we always keep that soft bend in our elbow. We never fully extend. Then we turn our hands away from us, palms out. And then we separate and we follow that left hand. So notice I moved both hands out, even though my eyes were following my left hand. And so that's important so that you get the full movement. You can feel that chest really open up whenever you open those hands. It's easy to forget about the one you're not looking at, but just be mindful of that. So we're going to shift left, step right, adjust the weight, push our hands out, turn, and separate, eyes following that left hand. When we get done with that that movement, we're going to shift the weight to that left foot. Bring that right foot and right hand back and down. And that's going to get us ready for waving hands and clouds. I might have stepped too close to that wall. So we have shift left, step right, adjust the weight. Push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back. And that gets us ready for our waving hands and clouds. Now that left hand staying up, the way I always remember which hand stays up is I pretend my eyes have like superpowers, and my superpower eyes are telling that hand to stay right there, like I'm wishing it to not move. That's the hand I follow with my eyes, is my left hand. Tell it not to go anywhere, and then bring that right foot, right hand back. So that stays up there. When we get to our next move, then that hand's going to come down in order to do, that's the step switch. So that's the next move. That hand is coming down. It's not staying up there forever, but for the sake of the ending of that move, I'm telling it to stay and bringing this back and down. So that's the end of single whip. So let's add it to the top with commence, hands come up, down, shift right, step left, hands come in and up, shift left as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift left, step right, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, following that left hand, shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back. Again, and commence, up, down, shift right, step left, hands come in and up, shift left as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift left, step right, adjust the weight, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back. Are we good with those?
So far, so good.
Very good. All right, Miss Ruth Ann, you good? Thumbs up. All right. Next, we're going to talk about waving hands and clouds. Y'all, this is the movement that you can pull out and just do it using the principles. You'll get all the benefits from Tai Chi, because just the leg work of it is walking to the side. So we're doing weight transfer. We step out, we shift, and we follow step. Then we shift, step, shift, follow step, shift, step, shift, follow step. So we're walking sideways Tai Chi style, because we're doing slow, smooth, continuous. We're keeping that upright posture. With the upright posture and that slow movement of the weight transfer, we're really engaging our muscles as stabilizers, which helps us with balance. So you can pull out and just do the walking to the side. You can walk until you can't walk anymore. Maybe you go to a wall. It just depends on your space. And when you get to a stopping point, you can go back the other way and walk. Shift, step, shift, step. And this is a good movement to practice just for the sake of what feels comfortable for you in terms of space. So when I step out, I'm a little further than hip width apart. And when I follow step, I'm back at hip width apart. So I'm not taking big, huge steps, and I'm not putting my feet real close to each other. That's not a stable stance. So that's why it's good to practice that move, is to find the space that's comfortable for you where you feel stable. So not too big, and definitely don't come back where your feet are touching each other, because that would be unstable. So that's the leg work of waving hands in clouds. Now in the movement, we do 3 steps and a follow step. So it's step, shift, follow step. That's 1, shift, step, shift, follow step. That's 2, shift, step, shift, follow step. That's 3. So that's the number of steps that we take in our actual movements. If you do 4, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. I can't tell you how many times I have said, was that 3 or 4? Or was that 2 or 3? And it's always fine. So just follow those principles, and the numbers is not what's the most important. But there are 3, and if we do 3 most of the time, then yay. Handwork of waving hands in clouds. So remember whenever we were doing that spinal warm-up where we had the ball and we went side to side? Very similar movement in waving hands in clouds. So we're going to, remember we have this left hand up and this right hand we pulled back with that foot. That's our starting point. We're going to switch our hands. So this hand that's up is going to come down to our hip. The hand that's down is going to come up cross body, almost like a sash. And then we're going to turn, just like that torso spinal warm-up, that torso move. When we get here, we put that hand down and this one comes up. So there's the switch and then the turn. Switch, turn. Switch, turn. Switch, turn. Switch, turn. So those movements go with our leg work. So when we step right, I turn to the right. Shift, step, and switch. Now I turn to the left. Step, switch, turn and shift, step and 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 switch, turn and shift. And then we come to the middle for open and close. So that's our waving hands in clouds movement. So let's practice that a little bit. Coming from our single whip, where we shift left, step out right, adjust the weight, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand down. Waving hands in clouds. Step and switch, turn and shift. 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 To the middle for open and close. Let's do it again, then we'll add it to the top. Coming from our single whip, where we just brought that right foot, right hand back. Scooch over a little bit. Okay. So we're taking our first step with our right foot as we switch our hands, then turn. Step and switch, turn and shift. 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 And to the middle for open and close. Any questions about waving hands and clouds? You see why I wanted that poster on the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. So we have, I'm going to do it right quick. It might not be as thick as the other one. Step and switch. And those two go together. And then we have turns and shift. And those two can go together. And when I say they go together, that's just what helps us be more continuous with our movement and not so choppy. All right.
That's right.
Now you can see that. Okay.
Yep.
So maybe that's helpful. I might need to put it over this side, since we're moving from this side. Is that still in the frame? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try that. Let's just try it. So you see the movement or the name of step and switch, turn and shift. And after class, I'll make those lines thicker so they're easier to read. But we have the, we just brought that right foot, right hand back from our single whip. Now we're going to step and switch, turn and shift. 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 To the middle for open and close. Now, if you need it to be more broken down, if you don't like doing two things at the time, then you can step, switch, turn, shift. Step, switch, turn, shift. Step, switch, turn, shift. And that's easy and easier in the beginning as you're learning. Step, switch, turn, shift. And then once you get an idea of all those four movements, then you can start buddying them up and doing step and switch, turn and shift. Step and switch, turn and shift. And it allows you to be more continuous with your movement, which is one of our goals for our principles. So this is a movement that is challenging because you're, you know, in the commencement, in the open and close, and in the single whip, you pretty much do one thing with your hands and then something with your feet. So it's kind of back and forth. Here, step, shift, stop. So you do something with your hands and something with your feet. It's just naturally more A, B, do one and then do the other. And waving hands in clouds, it really starts marrying hands and feet together. And so that's why it's complicated. It's a lot for our brains to take in because we're learning and trying to get good at it. So do it at your own pace of how you need to break up that movement, and then gradually marry the words together and the movements together. And then before you know it, you'll be like this. You see, that's a nice, smooth movement of waving hands in clouds. It might not look like that when we're learning, and that's just the way it is as we're learning. So do your best so that you will get to the place where you can make it more smooth. But you see all the four parts. You see the step, you see the switch, you see the turn, and probably see the shift. The shift happens just before you raise that other foot up. It starts to be seamless the more you practice. Any questions about waving hands in clouds?
No.
The more that we do it, the better we get. So let's just add it to the top. We have several minutes for practicing those movements. Next week, what we're going to do is do single whip to the other way, whatever way that is anymore. My whole life is a lie now. And waving hands in clouds to, I know it's the left. And then we end with the waving or with the open and close, and that's our basic 6. And so we'll practice that for a while, get comfortable with those movements, explore it with all our principles, and then we'll start with our advanced 6. So let's practice what we know from the top. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift left, step right, adjust the weight, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back. Waving hands in clouds. Step and switch, turn and shift. 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 Step and switch, turn and shift to the middle for open and close. All right, let's do it again. And commence. Up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift left, step right, push, turn, separate, follow that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step right, switch, shift and turn. Step and switch, turn and shift. 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 Step and switch, turn and shift to the middle for open and close. Now let's do it without talking. I'll just call out the names before I start them. And commence. Open and close. single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. One more time. When I finish this time, I'm going to show you the rest of what we'll do tomorrow, so you'll know what you have to look forward to. You already know it, it's just to the other side. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. I'll talk you through the end. Single whip, shift right, step left, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, following that right hand, waving hands in clouds. Bring that, oh, there's the end of that movement, sorry. Step and switch, turn and shift. Step and switch, turn and shift. So we're just going the opposite direction. Nothing new, just the same movement, just to the other side. And back to the middle for open and close. Close it out. And that's our basic 6. Let's cool down by giving ourselves a little fist massage. Breaking up any lactic acid that may cause soreness. All the weight shifting that we do in Tai Chi can definitely cause you to feel soreness. So don't be surprised when you do. Sometimes we kind of discount slow movement as not worthy, but we're doing a lot by slowing down. It's more challenging than going fast in some way. Next, we purposely tense, gather that tension, and then we intentionally let it go. So we know if we're holding tension, that can cause us pain. So we intentionally let it go because that's not what we want. So we gather and release. Gather and release. Gather and release. Big circle up, palms up, and push down. Same one we do in the beginning. We inhale up and push down. Inhale. And exhale. One more. And we take our right fist, that represents our strength. Our left hand with our fingers together represents our friendship. Our thumb end represents our humility. So we put those together, and in mutual respect, we say namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. So I think I gradually got myself together after being so tickled about, oh my gosh, I was so proud that I had done something. And so now I'm seeing this backwards, but what matters is that y'all see it forwards. And hopefully having it there helps you with that waving hands in clouds movement. I'm a big person, you know, I like having things in front of me on the wall. You know, this is like a big Post-it note pad. And when I first started, I put the names of the movements in order and hung them on the wall because I didn't want to have to use my brain power to think about what was next. I mean, it was enough to think about what was involved with each movement. So whatever works for you. Know that this video will be on YouTube. You have access to it on your tablet as well as the tutorials. But as always, just let me know if you need something from me, and I'll do my best to help you.
Sounds good.
So we'll do it again next Tuesday.
Okay.
All right.
Could
Y'all
I have
take
your,
care.
could I have
Thank-
your phone number,
Yes,
Jennifer?
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. My
Who is it?
direct line is 912
Uh-huh.
292 9052.
9052.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you have to call long distance when you call that?
Yes, but it,
Okay.
I
Okay.
have,
So here's a toll-free number. My toll-free number is 888 367 9913. You'll just have to ask our secretary for me. It's totally not a problem. But that's toll free, so you don't have to pay. We don't want anybody to have to pay long distance. So we do have a toll free number.
okay.
Okay.
Hey,
And if you do talk to Miss Barbara and she needs to talk to me, share my number with her. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, I love y'all. Y'all take care.
Love you too. All
love you
right.
too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.